So we open the episode with the Stepstones attacking one of Lord Corliss's ship, and he goes to court while they trying to pick somebody else for the King's Guard who just passed. And he said, look, y'all want to play in court like this is Fulton County. Meanwhile, our ships are getting sunk. And a new war gonna have you in a funk. We need to go to war now, stamp them out. They feeding people to crabs, it ain't cute. However, the king ain't trying to go to war with the free cities. The king says, look, I done send some people to Volantis to see if we could calm things down, maybe get a little truce going on. However, his daughter pipes up and says, well, why don't we just send a dragon to scare him off, burn him up a little bit. He said, you know what, hon, you can go out and pick out this new King's Guard and this knight will protect you. I just lost my wife and my baby, so I'm gonna be I'm gonna keep a good eye on you. So she go out and meet the candidates. So we have Sir Christian come up and he cute. She's like, ooh, you saw combat in the Stormlands, did you? She pick him and she say, look, my daddy needs to be protected by somebody that's actually done it and not just no tournament fool. Meanwhile, back with the king, he talking to the daughter's friend. White people always want to go back in time, like they ain't got enough today. He asked her how his daughter doing, and she said, you know, you can go check on her. He's like, I'm kind of scared. She said, she'll open up. She'll open up, just ask. So after that, her friend go visit her, and they talking, and she's scared her pappy gonna remarry, and her friend's like, your dad love you. Why don't you pray and try to talk to your mama? So she do. However, Lord Corliss visits the king the next day, and he's like, look, I'm sorry for kind of shouting at you, but we got to do something. And the king on his peace and love, I ain't really trying to send nobody to die. And Lord Corliss says, look, let me talk plain. Everybody's waiting for the Red Keep to fall. You named this heifer as an heir. Your brother done taken over Dragonstone. And now we got these pirates. You should marry our daughter so we can combine houses and forces. So it did that night with the king and the daughter. So they say they miss their mother. She tell him, I picked a good guard for you. However, she tries to talk to him about the meeting today, and he's like, child, I don't want to hear that. So he goes back to his chambers, and they using maggots to eat off the dead flesh because something's infected. So he asks his doctor if he should marry Lord Corliss's daughter, the Lady Lena. Lord, so we meet Lady Lena, and she a 5-year-old. However, then the mama start talking to Raina. You okay with this? And she's like, well, my dad's the king. She said, yeah, I know, but are you okay? The mama said, look, your pappy gonna have a boy, and that's who really gonna be king. She said, well, when I'm queen, I'ma change it. She like, okay, heifer, I thought I was gonna be queen too. Then I had to sing boo-hoo-hoo while my husband told me woo-woo-woo. She said, honey, you gonna trust men, you gonna end up hurt. I'm telling you right now, they're gonna snatch your throne. So that night, the king tell his daughter's friend he gotta remarry. And she said, oh, who'd the council pick? She said, oh, Lady Lena's perfect. Let me give you a little pre-wedding gift. Oh, it's a stone dragon that broke. However, the hand of the king interrupts them. Oh, a dragon's egg was stolen. Oh, Lord, it's his wacky-ass brother. So he's taking a second wife. Oh, and because she with child, they got to put a dragon's egg in the bed with her according to custom. And the prince has invited you to his wedding. Red wedding, I wouldn't go. So they gonna go to Dragonstone to try to get the egg back and deal with the bro. So we got the King's Guard at Dragonstone facing the brother and his new hussy. He's trying to marry his hussy to make her an honest heifer. Why you gotta insult him? But the King's Guard is like, you choosing war, honey, and we gonna get you. You better hand over that egg. Uh-oh, here comes the dragon. So then the King's Guard's like, okay, we gonna stand down. Oh, he got 2 dragons. Oh, the second dragon is the princess, because she knew he was gonna pull a stunt. She like, okay, if it's dragon against dragon, we can do that. So she tell him, look, you go on and kill me so you could be heir. Don't even keep messing around with it. So he just give her the egg and walk back to his castle. Back with the king, he meeting Lord Lionel, who says Lord Corliss is jealous. The king's like, I don't want to marry this 12-year-old. Good job. However, the other guy reminds him, that family got our ships. Corliss is not going to take it well. I think you should marry the heifer. Or somebody comes in and say, the princess got back with the egg. He's like, what was she doing there? So he's like, look, you can't be disappearing like that. You're all I got. Look, I got to get married again, but you still gonna be my only heir, because I can't replace your mama. So the next morning, the king says he gonna marry Allison Hightower, that little heifer that's been visiting him, the princess's friend. Oh, Coldoko. Lord Corlys gets up. He said it should have been me. So Lord Corlys goes home and starts talking about the days of old Valyria and how they had to scratch and survive in the sea, 'cause there were no dragons for thee. Why we always gotta be hanging in a child line? So Corlys goes to the king brother. He said, look, I'm having trouble with these crab people. If you can get rid of these crab people, you can prove yourself. You can get some allies. All right, well, that was it. So let's get to the next episode. So the prince goes to get the crab people and gives them a taste of their own medicine. Child, we got a dragon coming through. So they running and hiding in the caves. Child, he's like, Drahar, where are you? Drahar, come here. Come here, I got something for that butt. Come here. Child, he hiding in the cave. So now we with the king, and apparently there is a son, and he 2 years old now. The council want him to be the heir, but the king's hand is like, nah, it's gonna be his daughter. So while the king's getting information about what's going on with the crabbers, Rhaena's getting serenaded by a portly minstrel. Oh, Lord, so now we got the friend coming out telling Rhaena to get her butt inside, and Rhaena mad that her friend married her pappy. So we still having problems with the Stepstones at the hunt. So some of the old biddies at the hunt think the country's at war, dragged into it by the king's brother. Outside, the princes meet Lord Jason Lannister. You know he gotta be all bravado. Child, he was flirting with her like he was in like Flynn. I'm getting lesbonics from her. So she go and yell at her pappy for giving him the go-ahead to ask her for merge. Oh, he said, look, honey, you of age, and you two could work out because you both arrogant and hard-headed. However, their argument gets interrupted by someone saying, oh, we found this big stag. Let's go kill it. So the princess rides off to be the first to get him. But her guard catch up with her and stop her. So the Lannister fool tried to hit up the king and be like, yeah, I thought your son was going to be the heir. And the king said, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Oh, Lord. So the hand of the king says, yeah, I know she don't really want to get married, so why don't you just have her marry Prince Aegon, her brother? So the king peeved, he still ain't found his daughter. So now the king's getting advice to have his daughter marry Lord Corlys' son. However, the princess asking her guard, you think the realm will ever take me as the queen? Ooh, they getting attacked by wild hogs, but he saved her. Now the king having second thoughts about his little heifer being the heir. So the next morning they done caught the stag and the king gonna kill him. He ain't do no work, but you know he's gotta have the final moment. Rhaenyra and her guard still ain't come home yet. So now the queen talking to her pappy, who's also the hand of the king, and he's like, you know your kid gonna be king, and she's like, I'm not so sure. They all pled to her. They bent the knee. So the queen go to the king and she said, look, I think Rhaenyra will marry. She just got to pick her man. So they get a letter and Corlys and Daemon are losing the woe. So the princess and the king finally get together and he's still trying to convince her to get married. The king tells his daughter, you got to get married, but you will be my heir. I'm almost reneged, but I'm going to keep you. Over at the war with Lord Corlys, they're having a real bad time because the crab people hiding in the caves and the dragons ain't doing nothing. They losing men, ain't got no food, help's a ways away. There's infighting, and they sick of Daemon. So it looks like the brother's leaving. He's like, I don't want to be here when your men show up. So the brother's waving the white flag to the crab man. Crab man come out, he look up to the sky for a dragon, but it's cloudy. You know that dragon hiding. So all the men come out, he give him his sword. Up, and then he start killing the men. So he take out a lot of them, but he gets 2 arrows. Child, he up again. He done pulled the arrows out. He's swerving, but he's standing. He dragged that crab king all the way out to the sea, and that's where it ends. But I'ma see you soon for Housewives of Atlanta.